All right, what's up, Dragon Brood? I have a feeling multiple people are going to try some deck like this, but we had to give it a go as well because we're going to see if we can destroy all of our opponent's non-basic lands and then do some cool stuff to lock the game up using a lot of new cards. So let's hop in and see if this works. So we're starting at the top with just some utility cards, right? Some Burst Lightning so we could deal with some early creatures, and can be some finishing damage if we need it. Glimpse the Core, obviously to help us find some forests, because we do need those. Shared Roots to help us ramp up as well. And then we have Maelstrom Artisan. Now this is just a 3/2 haste creature, however, it does come with Rocket Volley, which is 2 mana to destroy target non-basic land. That being said, we don't have a really good way to prepare this after the fact, so once it's done, but we still have a 3/2, which is fine. We do have Emeritus of Abundance, and one of the fun things you can do with this is if you can block with your Artisan, you can actually then just get it back with Emeritus and try to destroy a land again, which is kind of funny. But we do also have Magmatic Hellkite, because that just outright destroys non-basic lands. We also have some Ill-Timed Explosion. This can help us dig to the cards we want while also keeping the board clean. And we have some Bloomvine Regent, so another way to go search for some land so we could ramp up and also gain us a little bit of life. This is important because now we're getting into the expensive cards in the deck. We do have Echocasting Symposium. Now, in a perfect world, if we could copy our Magmatic Hellkites, that would be great, right? Then we just destroy every non-basic land. Or we could copy Bloomvine Regents and then just get a fleet of 4/5s and keep gaining exponentially more life, well, multiplicably more life for each creature. And then we also have the option of things like Meringue River Regent, right? We could return things to our opponent's hand and then just keep returning 2 things to their hand every turn because of the Symposium, which would let us just cast this every turn. Or we can just make a bunch of dragons with Dragon Back Assault and then copy some of our dragon tokens. And then we also have Extinguisher Battleship, which if we can actually turn this on, then we just copy this every turn and then just start destroying the opponent's lands while also just keeping stuff off the battlefield. So there's a lot of things we can do if we can get to the Symposium, but that's kind of going to be the whole goal to this deck, really, is can we ramp up to that and then start taking advantage of it. But as usual, if you're going to buy some cards, you got to direct you over to Tales of Adventure, especially if you want to pick up some Strixhaven. You can get 5% off everything on their website if you just use my code DRAGON, which is DRAGN. Literally, whatever you buy, 5%. You support the channel, and our sponsors appreciate it. But all that being said, let's go see if this Symposium goes off and how many things we get to copy. Oh, this will be fun. Let's see how this works out. Oof, I was hoping we found something to play on for 2 mana there, but we failed. All right, we'll try. Get met with counter number 1. Sounds good. What you got? Professor, we're going to try to put counters on, I suppose. All right. And we'll attack. What if I feel like next turn is going to be something like a Ouroboros, and we're just going to have to use the ill-timed explosion anyway? Sort of what this feels like. Opponent, I'm assuming you're not blocking. But they're taking a chance to think about it. For some reason. All right, there we go. I don't know what happened there. They were having a moment. Another professor. That's cute. What's that ability read? You cast a spell if the amount of mana spent. Oh, the amount of mana spent was greater than search. For some reason, I was thinking it was a power toughness thing. That obviously was wrong. Let's attack. We don't need them drawing a bunch of cards, right? That's bad for business. Though I think we can still wait one more turn. Since they weren't drawing lands. At least that's my assumption. We'll see. Oh yeah, because they went first, right? Oh man, that's a thing. What is that guy? Flying and trample and flash. Okay, well, I guess we're just gonna do this and deal 4. Get rid of the other Hellkite, and I don't even know if I want to get rid of the land since, I guess, Glimpse the Core? Yeah, seems good. Did it before I attacked, just in case they blocked. Wanted to make sure we didn't lose all of our creatures. Hall Creeper. And another Hall Creeper. I don't know what the opponent's doing, but they like to draw cards, I'll tell you that. Alright, that's enough for them to give. No blue mana, but we have shared roots, so we're going to keep it. And I hope we draw at least one land over the first couple turns. I think the interesting thing on the Artisan is going to be when do we decide to run it out there, right? Because you want to try to take advantage of it, obviously. But if we can't, then you don't really want to set it out there just to get removed by something simple. The one good news here is that our opponent's deck is likely playing just a bunch of small creatures with prowess, so our ill-timed explosion could be pretty strong. Alright, there's Storm Chaser's talent, sure. And attack, play a spell. Well, yeah, yep. Question is, I think we just go ahead and do it next turn. I was going to say, like, could we wait one more turn, but I don't think it's really worth the risk. I think we have to just go for it. Otherwise, they could potentially just do too much damage. Well, we didn't draw the land, so that's neither here nor there. Now we just have to hope we can survive a turn. I don't know that we can, but here's hoping. Because if they go land, spell, 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 depending on what those spells are, this could be pretty bad. All right, there's the first land, and it means they're going to cast some spells, which is why they're taking the damage. Wonder how many direct burn spells they're playing. A lot of these decks don't play that many. A lot of the spells they're playing are to draw cards. Well, that answers that, so we know they exist. All right, good news. They don't have anything else worth playing there. So let's start with... I might just discard the shared roots and see if we can get into some situation with these cards. I think is going to be the plan. Oh, Meringue River Regent's nice, though. I don't hate that. All right, let's get rid of the shared roots and I guess Artisan? Because if we can resolve some of this other stuff, we're probably okay. I mean, we are only at 7, but yeah, I think that's the way we want to go. And then play the starting town tapped and pass. So we can still Burst Lightning something if we feel we need to, and could try to set up the Symposium, maybe. I don't know how good that would go, but, you know, how good, how well. Y'all know what I'm saying. English is a hard language. Sure. All right, let's get rid of their token. So there's just one less thing we have to worry about next turn. Then I don't really want to bounce the Storm Chaser's talent. Though they do have a burn spell in the yard, which is kind of annoying. In a way, I kind of want to bounce them, because if they replay them, we could then just copy them with the Symposium. I think we're going to risk it. It sounds crazy. I don't know if this is actually the best thing to do, but we're going to do it. Go to 6. I don't know if this is going to work at all. This could just be an absolutely stupid plan, but this is where we are. All right, talent, talent, and then we have to block. That sucks. I mean, it's still good we played Meringue River Regent, but they could also just have a bounce spell for the River Regent, and we just lose, right? Okay, it's an otter, so that's not bad. That's not bad at all, actually. That's arguably very good. Here's the problem. We can only take damage one more time, because otherwise we're in range of a Burst Lightning in their yard. So if we copy, I guess we're bouncing the 2 tokens, which sucks. But I don't want an ill-time explosion just yet. So, all right. Target us. Copy that creature. Return these 2 knuckleheads. All right. Oh, this is so close. Like, at some point, if they get another burn spell, we're kind of wrecked, right? Oh, no. Well, I guess they'll try to draw into something. Yeah. Oh, they just got another Quantum Riddler. It still works. Maybe one of those is a land? Maybe they're both lands? No such luck. The good news is I at least have 2 creatures to block with for the time being. So we're not going to be mad at that. All right. How scary is it? I mean, they still have 2 mana and 2 cards. Yeah, that's what I figured. So we're going to be forced to block. All right. I'll block with the token there and this here. I mean, we couldn't not block. I mean, we're at 5. Even if we let the otter through, that's dangerous. All right. I mean, that gets rid of both of our dudes. I mean, well played on their part. Oh, that is sick. That is a sick rip. You may not play this card. Okay. That's weird that it gave me that option. So if I draw... I could bounce this. They could replay it, play a Quantum Riddler. We copy... But if they do that, then we just copy bounce Riddler. God. Oh, man, being at such low life sucks. All right. We're going to do the thing. It sucks giving them a token back, but it's mostly just trying to keep them off burning us out. Because otherwise, as soon as they just draw a burn spell, they just literally get the one out of their yard, and then we're just cooked and can't do anything. And that's pretty terrible. We need to find our life gain dragon, and then we'd be all right. That also does force them to have to play other cards so they can't get max value off Quantum Riddler by returning stuff. So there is that. All right. They have no maximum hand size. Sure. Okay. We will copy. Target ourselves. Copy the regents. Is this just no maximum hand size? Yeah, so we'll return that. Return the token. Hopefully the opponent doesn't see what we're working toward. All right, we're going to attack for 6. To at least threaten and lethal. Since we have a Burst Lightning, we're going to hope we don't die. I feel like I bought us as much time as I could buy. Okay, they're checking the yard now to see what's worth getting back. They didn't have a bounce spell, so we're not worried about that. But, like I said, they do have the Burst Lightning. All right, Riddler, sure. They need Riddler and a bounce spell now to stay alive. Or a counter now, which they could have. I am going to attempt to just blast them, and we'll find out right now if they have an answer. Because I know we can copy one of our regions. Now, if they have a bounce spell, they will bounce the regent we copy, but then we just recast it, so it wouldn't really do anything. Did we get there? Wow. Oh my goodness. That felt like such a grind. Oh, and they did find the other burst lightning. Wow, so the plan worked. Ooh. Man, that game was so close. I feel like there's so many ways we could have lost that. That's a tough deck to beat with this. This is not the matchup we're... And what's funny is we didn't destroy a land that whole game, right? We only drew one of our land destruction guys. The rest of the time was just like, all right, we're going to live off this symposium and hope we get there with the River Regent. But it worked just the same. Oh my gosh, we can't keep that. All right, this is a little scary still, but, you know, it's functional, I guess. Good news, we won't be having anything go to our graveyard. Fortunately, we're not playing a deck that cares about graveyards. I hope we draw a multi-land with blue or red so I can make an informed decision on what to get with the shared roots. Because without it, this gonna suck. Alright, they got dragons. What are we gonna get? What are we gonna get? Man, I need 2 red and 2 blue. If I get a blue, I can just draw with Meringue River Regent, though. So let's... Well, we already have the 1 blue. Maybe we get a mountain. I don't know if that's right, but we'll see. I mean, maybe we'll get lucky and we just draw an ill-timed explosion and that solves all of our problems. I guess it wouldn't even be worth it here. Yeah. Yeah, opponent going first and having a strong draw there was really tough. Or actually, we went first, but they had the right draw, getting the extra mana, which puts us kind of behind the 8 ball a little bit. So we would take 4, 8... and then have access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana next turn. That doesn't really do much, does it? All right. Well, I guess we got to do it anyway. This is just one of those situations that is not good for us. Now we're going to be punished for not taking that second blue if we don't draw it, because there is a world where we could maybe have played Meringue River Regent. I just didn't think we were going to get to this point. But I should have trusted myself on that first instinct and just taken the blue mana. Yep. If we draw an untapped blue, I think we're still in this. If we don't, I think we lose. I think that's kind of where we're at. And we didn't. Damn, that sucks. Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, best we could do is maybe try to kill Sarkin, but then we just die to any other hasty dragon or 1 point of burn damage or whatever they have. I should have taken the blue land. That's really what this whole thing's about. Gah. If I'd have taken the blue land, we would have won. Or at least have been a good shot to win. Oh, gosh. Well, now we're just going to die to that. So, like, yeah, it doesn't matter. All of this is bad. All right, cool. GG's. I just chose poorly. We can't keep this, right? That's just too crazy. All right. Well, Emeritus, I don't know if you're going to matter, but welcome to the party. I guess we could go get another island, then Emeritus, and just let it chill. Whipcracker. All right. That's a card we don't see very often. Yeah, I guess since we already have the starting town, it's fine. Let's just go get island. What is this guy? So you have an insect. Oh, this is one of the. It's. I got it. I got it. I got it. I see where we're going. Took me a second to get on the same page. Play this tapped. I could have left up a burst lightning. Maybe could have mattered. You know what? I'm your Huckleberry. Sure. Would you like to destroy my Emeritus? Oh, they did the work for me. That's great. They just paid the life and got rid of the board for when they had the advantage. So, great. I guess they really didn't want us to have the Emeritus. All right. What's the other line of text? At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, draw a card. Fair. Well, let's make sure we just don't have to... Actually, you know what? I could just wipe the board. If I could find a... No. Yeah, I'm going to gamble on that. Okay, we did find a land. Fantastic. So let's get rid of... I guess these two? Just double checking that we're good with that. And then play the breeding pool tapped, and I will attack for 4. All right. End the turn. Honest Rutstan. How's it going, buddy? You can has that. And is it instep died under your control? Okay. So no matter what, if I kill the Rutstan, they're gonna get to draw a card. I'm kind of just okay with them having a Rutstan at that point. Like, we're gonna gain enough life to not care. I'd rather just keep potential cards out of their hand. Because if this works, we're gonna get so far ahead. It's not gonna matter that much. Target us, target our regent. Get 6 life. And attack. Alright. What you want to do? You could pay 5 and get rid of all my duders. That flies. It blocks for a turn. Why not? Yep, that's going to do it. Well, I'm not going to lie. Here I was thinking we're going to be destroying some lands, and we're just copying things with Symposium. That's our game plan, I guess. This is a super easy mulligan. I don't think that's even a question. Oh, we have ill-timed explosion. I'm going to put back one of the artisans. And then see if we can somehow still get there. Oh, boy. What deck is this? I guess we just go get a forest? I mean, actually, maybe that was bad. I'm supposed to go get an island or a mountain there, because I could just go get a forest with this next turn. I could just take another point. Yeah, that would have been smarter. Ah, well. Hopefully we don't get too punished. We'll see, though. What deck just plays mono blue and is drawing a bunch of cards? Oh, there's a Vaultborn Tyrant they discarded. Ugh. Like, why is our deck just going to be so bad against them? Okay, they have red stuff. Okay, I guess they're looking for non-islands? Okay, there we go. I was like, there's got to be something, right? All right. So that was their issue. They were just looking for other non-blue sources. That makes a lot of sense. And we're playing elementals. Oh. No? Huh. Yep, no clue what's going on. I'm not even going to try to figure it out at this point. I'm just going to try to keep them from playing with their Ashland. Let's... I mean, since non-basics aren't going to be a thing in this matchup, I guess. We have 5, 6, 7 if we kept those. 6, 7. Yeah, let's just... I think that's fine. Go ahead and attack. Player breeding pool tapped. Now make sure we have double red and double blue if we need it now. Seize the spoils. Is this some type of weird reanimator pile? Like, what's going on? Alright, I guess we just Emeritus, because, I mean, why not? Get back. Oh, I just glimpsed the core for a island, so I'll just get an island back. Just play the land straight up. An attack? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what we're playing against right now, y'all. I don't even, I can't even begin to formulate a plan. I don't know at all what's happening. I'm sure we're about to see it because they have so much mana. Okay, well, that generates 4 or 5 more mana. So they have 6 plus still can play a land. Is this like a weird combo pile? All right, seize the spoils. Get another treasure, so you still have 4 mana. I mean, they're doing a great job filling up their graveyard. I just don't know to what end. All right, there's the loot. So that makes sense. All right, fortunately, we found an untapped land right on time. This will deal 4 to everything, though. So that sucks. Problem is, we have to get rid of the loot. I don't think we have a choice. I would love to do other things, but I don't have anything in the yard for damage, right? No. You get back this guy, but that doesn't do anything. Yeah, okay. Kind of hate life, but I feel like this is what we've got to do, or else we just lose them having a bajillion points of mana. Yeah. I mean, they would have potentially had 14 mana here to do whatever it is they're trying to combo and do. I'll go look it up after I'm done editing this video, and I'm sure I'll see what deck this is that's floating around, but for the time being, this is what we're doing. Cast a Maelstrom Artisan with haste. Yeah, 3 steps ahead works. This has to be some type of reanimator pile, right? You're playing even Wither in here? Or Mr. Negative, whatever you want to call it. Oh, does it have the white Symposium to return stuff from the graveyard? Or whatever it is, the white Paradigm card? That's probably what's going on. Yeah, I bet that's what it was. They probably have the white Paradigm card, and then you just start returning all these monsters every turn. Because it was a little weird when I saw Ashland, because I'm like, these other things aren't even elementals. So, like, why are we playing? We're just trying to cast big things. And then if we don't get it, then you just paradigm because you've had all the extra mana from the loot, and then you just start getting your stuff back every turn. So, if so, that's a cool idea and a way to do that. If not, very interested on how they were getting there. Ooh, yeah, we'll keep this. And we have to take 2, unfortunately, which is basically, hey, I have something to cast, opponent. But you still got to do it. And you know what else is unfortunate? Our land destruction stuff is probably not going to do a lot against this particular deck. Do I need to get a island? Probably. Let's do that. This is likely either mono green aggro or mono green landfall. Either way, they don't have a lot of non-basics that stay on the battlefield. So not a lot to be gained from our magma Hellkites. But my Magic Hellkites are still flyers, and that's relevant. So let's go ahead and do that. I don't think I want to just run out our region, especially if we can find another untapped land, have a 4/5, gain 3 life, and then maybe start doing stuff with the Emeritus of Abundance. There's a Badger Mole Cub, which also plays a Mikey and Leo. So that changes things for us a little bit. I will get rid of an Emeritus and probably the Extinguisher Battleship. Does get rid of everything, but that's fine. There's another Badger Mole. Into yeah, that's a thing that happened. Shoot, really? Come on, man. Let's discard that and I guess this. We could get stuff back with the Emeritus one day. All right. And just turn a land into a creature. Seems good. Ooh. All right. Let's play the Emeritus. Let's cast the Regrowth to get Bloomvine Regent back to our hand. I'm taking the Bloomvine Regent because it can get us 2 lands or just let us have a 4/5 and 3 life, which would be more than fine. You got it. Yep, you got it. Like, guess what? I'm blocking. You can put counters wherever the hell you want to put them. Ooh, why did I not have one more land? Gosh dang it, that would have been huge. Ah, man. Golly, what do we do with this? All right, I guess this is the play. Boy, do I hate this, though. Might as well attack. We are at 7 land, so if we can keep the Emeritus alive, we could reuse a Regrowth. Here we're just hoping the opponent splits their counters and leaves everything at 3 or less, maybe. So we could just use the Dragonback Assault. Nope, looks like they're going to put counters on one of their forests, unfortunately. No, they're activating the other 4. Okay, that's good. If they would have made a forest into a 4, that would have been really rough. And of course you attack, I block. I mean, if they keep Badger Mole alive, I guess it'd be fine. We wouldn't really care that much. I assume counter's going to go on Badger Mole. Yeah. All right. All right. Still attack. Badger Mole's got 3 damage on it already. Okay, now how many dragons can we make? That's the next bit of business. Because we only have 2 forests left. But that would make us 10 power worth of dragon. Oh, no! Alright, they got us. GG's. Gosh dang it. Yeah, by the way, that's exactly. So they go get 4 lands. I know they only have basics other than their other lands. So they go get 4. They make this into 11. We block that 7 plus 2 is 9. Like, so close. I should have just got rid of everything with the ill-timed explosions. Alright, this seems reasonable. Reasonable doesn't mean it's going to turn in anything, but we can be hopeful. Oh, no. Well, the good news is we at least have ill-time explosions. That should work for most of what we need to happen in this fight. Assuming we're playing against mono-white auras, because that's the only thing I think that plays Veteran Survivor right now. As long as you don't let the creatures get bigger than like 4 or 5 toughness, you almost always have a way to deal with them with the ill-timed explosion. Yep, and that's exactly one of the reasons why you don't want to have them get too big. That card can be problematic. So sadly, okay, we drew a second one. Like I say, we're going to have to kind of waste one. It's not a total waste, but it's a thing we need to do. Oh, I kind of want to keep the forest because it allows us to play the Bloomvine Regent. I don't know. I guess we just found the opponents playing all the basics today. If I keep the Emeritus, I can get whatever as well, so that's fine. Seam rip into nothing. Alright. Like, that's a choice. Okay, well, that'll do it. To be fair to the opponent, of all the matchups we have, like, it's probably good that this deck is good against the mono white auras, because we see it, I feel like, at least once an hour I run into it. But because our removal doesn't necessarily target, that's a pretty big deal. We also have sizable creatures, and stuff like Seam Rip doesn't really remove our threats for the most part. So we have a lot of things that work well in our favor against that particular deck. So that was a tough draw for the opponent, for sure. But also against these decks, once you get rid of their first couple of creatures, sometimes you just don't have anything to put all those auras on. All right, so we started out with the idea of we were going to just try to destroy a bunch of lands. As it turns out, there's really 2 issues to this. Is one, sometimes you just get in a situation where it's not worth destroying the lands. You need to be doing other things. Beyond that, the other problem is that a lot of decks we ran into just didn't play a lot of non-basics. And when you think about it, like the mono green landfall decks, the mono white auras, you know, mono red, whatever, like they're just not going to have a lot of basics for you to do anything, or non-basics for you to do anything to. So at that point, like, your artisan just becomes kind of just a bad creature, really. So what I would propose is leaning on the idea of us just becoming more of a Symposium deck, right? If we do that, what if we were to play the bear, right? I don't love the bear, but it does let us rampant growth and helps our deck out quite a bit. And it does only go get basic lands, so I don't know how well that would play later in the game, but probably better than us having the artisans. While the artisan having haste does matter, probably not the thing we're looking for. Burst lightnings were fine, but I would rather, with all the things I'm seeing, and especially with loot floating around, I think you need to have a braids. Honestly, I think that's just better. I get it. You know, it's not 1 mana. It doesn't go to the face, like all that. I understand. Real good arguments across the board, honestly. But I think that's what we need to be doing. Then from here, it gets a little tough. Because then we have to start asking, like, what cards let us put lands onto the battlefield? Like, is it worth it playing the Emeritus to get stuff back? Because we're pretty still light on creatures, only at 14. Technically, we do have Dragonback Assaults, which can get stuff. We can use battleships to remove things, but it does cost a ton, so I'd probably want to get rid of that and play either another River Regent and or another Dragonback Assault, especially since now we have Studious First Year to be able to go get stuff as well. That's a good backup play. So something closer to this is probably what I would be aiming to do. But if you want to make an argument for another Dragonback Assault, maybe not even playing the Extinguisher Battleship, I don't think it's bad to play one of, but it does actually destroy everything except our dragons. So that's something to think about. But playing another Meringue River Regent at least lets you draw some cards and find what you're digging for. So I don't hate that. But overall, I would say this deck was just fine. I believe our final record was like 8-5, which, it's okay. I think in those games, we also got a little bit lucky where our opponent didn't draw what they needed at the end of the game. I think very easily this could have been 7-6, maybe even the other way at 6-7. So not one I would necessarily recommend. It's a fun idea when you get to Symposium stuff and you're just keeping stuff off the board with the Meringue River Regent, or you're actually against something that has a lot of non-basics and you actually get to keep copying the Hellkite. That's cool. But outside of those scenarios, I think you're going to struggle with the control decks because you don't have anything they have to deal with till like turn 4 or 5. So that gives their counter spells forever. Maybe we need to be playing some number of creature lands. I think that could be doable as well if we wanted to make that change. But we'll see. I'll make some changes into the final list. We'll see what it ends up with. Maybe even a couple more basics so we can actually cast some stuff more reliably. But yeah, I think it's fine. Nothing I would say is going to blow the doors off, but it is a cool way to use Echocasting Symposium, if nothing else. But I'm going to leave this link up over on Moxfield. Y'all can check it out like always. But otherwise, that's all I have for now. We'll see you next time.